Evening, people. Evening. We were always going to be late. But because there was plenty of Premier League football on, and I watched a bit of Manchester City. Didn't look like Manchester City of the last 3-4 weeks, but second half they created a few chances because Rayan Cherki came on. But Brighton easily could have won that game. I don't know how much of the football you caught tonight, but Ben, welcome back to another Ben. And you've been for a couple of days, Ben, but nice to have you back. Look very fresh with the new trim as well. We'll talk Liverpool. We'll talk January again, just in case something happens, even though Liverpool, we're told, are not going to be active, but we're going to be talking about Liverpool's transfer window every single day of January until they sign somebody, because that's our prerogative. And here we are. What's going on? Which game did you watch today? Because Sky have got a bit clever this season, haven't they? Because you get a choice now, a proper choice.
Absolutely. Evening, mate. I thought I need to up me look and suave myself up a little bit after being subbed out for the real Ben last night, who did a sterling job for us, and he was really interesting watching. I caught a little bit of it myself, and he had some really good things to say. So I look forward to having him back on the channel. He was superb. But yeah, I'm back to work today, so a long day. But it was good. It was all good, and I just caught a little bit of the footy then before I wasn't planning on getting much, but because we've only gone live at 10:20, apparently I've got to give you loads of shit for being late, because the people aren't happy. Asim, the people aren't happy at all.
No.
But you know,
are they not happy?
You know what? They all said Cheens, the man who keeps everything intact. Unbelievable.
We know what? If the people aren't happy now, they're going to be a lot worse tomorrow. We'll carry on. We'll carry on.
Yeah, no, I did catch a few of the bits and bobs of the games. I watched the back end of the Everton game, which was funny, and that's about as enough to be said about that.
What score was it? What score was the Everton game?
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, 2-2. Wow. Yeah.
This Premier League table's mad right now. Brentford are fifth.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, Everton game, it was 2-2. I think it was 2-2. Am I being stupid there? It was no, sorry, 1-1. 1-1. Sorry, apologies. It was 1-1, but Everton went down to 9 men.
Wow.
So yeah, they had Michael Keane sent off for pulling one of the fella's hair. And it was like he jumped up to win a header and like grabbed his shoulders and then grabbed his head at the same time. He got sent off for violent conduct. You know that Sula, the big massive grok who plays up front.
Has he got long hair? Or did it?
Yeah, he's got long hair. Yeah, like dreadlocks sort of thing. I wouldn't be pulling his hair, flipping heck. He'd knock you out. But yeah, so it went over to VAR and they sent him off. I thought that was very harsh, to be honest, but it was funny, but it was harsh. And then Jack Grealish was kicking off and he got a second yellow for clapping the ref for like giving him a free kick. So that made me laugh as well. So yeah, that was funny. And then I caught a bit of the last bit of the United game as well. Apparently, Fletcher's getting sacked in the morning. Was the chance around Burnley?
Oh, that's good. That's good one. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, just again on this table, Ben, Liverpool are fourth, believe it or not. I repeat, Liverpool have retained position fourth after tonight's results. They have a game in hand over Brentford. But Brentford, you have to give them credit. You know what? Fair play to that manager, you know. What was he, a set piece coach?
Unbelievable.
Was he a set piece coach? Every single fan on Twitter was saying they are done. They sold him Wemo, they sold him Wissa. And you have to give a lot of credit to that striker, Thiago. He keeps on scoring, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he scored another 2 tonight. 3 at the weekend. He's now second top scorer behind Haaland in the Premier, if I'm not mistaken. Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable.
4-3 Newcastle.
Oh, no. Newcastle won it.
102nd minute winner. Though,
No
but
way. No way. They haven't all.
Newcastle are always involved in a 4-3, aren't they?
They
Always
love
a
it, don't they?
4-3.
Oh, well. It's me thinking Leeds were good and that was a good result against them. And actually, the shit, really.
You know, at work, I've actually got a lass who supports Leeds, and all her husband and her son every single week go to Ellen Road as well. So at least, you know what, when Leeds lose, I'll wind it up in the morning. So I'll actually clip this. I'm gonna send it out to her now. Big up Amanda if you're watching. But you know what? How are the lads?
Wow. Unbelievable result that. They could still make a charge for Champions League, Newcastle. They've got the players. If they could get, if they keep most of their players fit, they are still, a threat to the top 5. Let's just have a look now at the tape. Yeah, 6th Newcastle now, 6th. So
Wow.
Newcastle are 32 points. Brentford are 33 points. The Reds are 34, but obviously with a game in hand, and then you've got your top 3, then, haven't you? So yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Just shows you though, doesn't it? So Chelsea lost, haven't changed their manager. So much for the new manager bounce that is gonna, cost us top 5, and Fletcher's getting sacked in the morning as well. So I know we've got the small matter of Arsenal tomorrow as well.
Small matter. We'll come to Arsenal very, very shortly. Big up Jamie in the house. Head over to Jamie's channel, always in the chat, supporting the boys. Make sure you head over to his channel and give him a like and subscribe as well. Let's start with the slots presser. Got a few questions asked about Harvey Elliott, asked about the style of his football team right now. What do you make?
Oh, you got mute.
This is fucking wire, man.
Is it right dead sensitive and it mutes itself? Oh, it's done it again, mate.
Just like Liverpool, I'm skinned. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's gone again.
Can you hear now?
Oh yeah, I got you. It's come back now. Flipping heck.
I want to ask you about the. We've been discussing about these reports and rumors about a rift between Slot and the hierarchy, and his reluctance to play Rio because Richard Hughes and the hierarchy want him to flood the youngsters in. What do you make of it all? Me and Gene just sort of brushed it off as bullshit. But do you think there's no smoke without fire?
I can look at it from 2 angles. I think the report itself is a load of nonsense. Like I went to Anfield Watch's website and looked at the link, and the link takes you to like a Spanish paper, which is the equivalent to like offside or something, got goal offside. It's just another one that says we have a source that says someone else says something else. It's like it's all fabricated. There's no sort of like real significance to it. However, I do think there's probably a situation where Slot is not really entertaining in the idea of looking at the youth team at the moment. And there's probably 2 reasons for that. One is the reality is there's probably not anybody in there good enough to be able to challenge for the first team at the moment. So his business is about the first team, and rightly so, if I'm being honest. And also, I just think, the reality is, what are we? He would have known about players who were in there already. Surely he would have done. And I just think, we want him. Like, we were reading about people last week saying, "Oh, he's not giving any love to Harvey Elliott." It's like, who cares? He's gone. You know what I mean? I'm not interested about him being this, this man of the people and like, giving all this love out to everybody in the club, the ladies and everything else. I'm just interested in him getting results for us. And that's the thing, that's the most important thing at the moment. And I just think when everything's going well and when we're getting results, you don't see none of these stories come up. All these stories are just chilling in the background. I'm sure last season he probably didn't give that much love to the youth team, but nobody was cared because we were doing well on the pitch. And that's all that really matters. His job is to do well on the pitch for the first team, not to like make friends with all the kids in the academy. Whether or not, there's a conversation that I did mention the other night. I said, I do think that might be a concern that he is somebody who doesn't really embrace the youth. And there's been other great managers in the past who have done very similar and not embraced the youth at all. and that might be an issue for us because we built that training ground with the academy next to it, with the idea to to obviously develop and integrate the youth team. But we're in a bit of a crisis situation at the moment. So if his focus is just on the first team, I'm okay with it.
But if he doesn't trust Endo, if he doesn't trust Chiesa, do the likes of Rio deserve some minutes?
Yeah, it possibly does at this current situation. But again, though, we've said it already, hasn't he? Hasn't he got the most minutes out of any 17-year-old in the
Yeah.
in the league? So it's like, when Arsenal had a few injuries, he wasn't starting Max Dowman all of a sudden every week. It's a case of you've got to protect these kids. I think it would be negligence to just throw him in game after game, playing 40, 50, 60 minutes. He literally is only a child. I think coming off the bench in situations last 10, 15 minutes of a game where everyone's tired, that's when he could have a real impact. But I don't agree with giving him like 2-3 minutes and stuff. I just think, what's the point of that? If you're going to put him on for 15, 20 minutes to try and at least make a bit of an impact in a game. But starting to rely on him and saying, why is he not starting Premier League games for Liverpool at the age of 17? I think it's just a bigger indictment on the squad and the fact that line that was blazed out by Richard Hughes, that we don't want to block his pathway. To me, that's just utter nonsense. And that's just a cover-up in the same way is, if I remember rightly, before we signed Alisson, they said, oh, we've got the full, we want to support him and give Karius another chance. He's our man, blah, blah, blah. They did a big spiel about him and then signed Alisson the week after. So I think they're just doing the same thing. I don't think they're going to block Rio's pathway, but I think one of the first signings in the summer will be a left winger.
Okay. Eric seems a bit keen because he keeps putting this in the chat. I don't want to ignore him. If you don't mind not spamming the chat. Eric, he says, "Hi Asim, did you read my thread that I tagged you in? Thoughts on it?" No, I'm sorry, Eric. I've been really busy today. If I missed the tag, send it to me on Twitter and I'll have a look at it, mate. But yeah, sorry about that. I didn't see it. I want to ask you a question, Ben. The hierarchy. Do we deserve as a fan base to hear something from Richard Hughes at the not from Michael Edwards, maybe from Richard Hughes at Liverpool's current squad problems, depth problems? Two centre backs fit currently with Gomez coming back this week. Salah out for AFCON. Gakpo just come back. Ekitike struggling for the Arsenal game. We'll pick the team at the end of the show. It's a nightmare. I think it's a really, really desperate situation right now. One or two more. Oh my God, Ben. Oh my God.
I think 100% we should be entitled to hear from Richard Hughes and for him to justify his decisions and how he's decided to go with the squads this summer. However, no sporting director from any club in the last however many years has ever come out and spoke. And I think part of Arne Slot's job, unfortunately for him, but it's part of the job, is that he's got to take all the flack. And he should take a lot of the flack because a lot of the things that he's doing at the moment are, anti-football and playing to survive and, making strange decisions, etc., etc. We've said all that. But there's also a huge element of this that is on Slot and is on Hughes and Edwards, but they're paying Slot in a way to take that flack and to deal with those press comments. He's doing a press conference before every game, after every game, justifying everything, and at the same time that he can't come out and say his paymasters have let him down because that's what Amarin did and he got sacked. And it's like, Maresca hasn't gone down that route. He's basically, rather than, kicking off at his paymasters, he just said, this is not for me because I've got more ambition. So, I don't know, maybe Slot quits and maybe everyone will be chuffed to bits then. And that'll be like a situation. But he's still here and he still wants to do the job. So maybe he is content for now with the situation. And it is what it is. It is what it is.
Sticking in it. Yeah, go on, Ben. Go on, carry on, mate.
No, I'm just reading some of the chat as usual. Some classics that are already out there.
Sorry, carry on. Let's get the super chat. Oh, Gene's in the house. He goes, and give shit to Asim for being late. fucking hell. You know what? I can't reply to him. He's been a bit of a man of the people doing 2 daytime shows in a row, Ben. Daytime shows on the
Yeah,
team.
I know. Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's what's called. He's been very busy though, hasn't he? So maybe he's got a little bit of bit more time on his hands now.
400 people in the house, people. Make sure you keep on liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. S. Yacht with this first super chat of the day. He says, did you see Frank? We were discussing this before we came on. And I sent the graphic to Avi because I know Avi really likes Thomas Frank. And I sent it with the caption to Avi, your manager. And he actually thought it's an AI. And it's not. It was not an AI. And yeah, I just feel like some people are just not made for big clubs, and I'm treating Tottenham Hotspur as a big club. From Brentford to Tottenham for me, it's a big jump, and I don't know, man. Some people just don't get it. Why would you walk out with that cup of coffee? You know it's gonna go viral straight away, and nobody can tell me, "Oh, he didn't see it." Bollocks! You're bloody picking up a cup of coffee. You don't see that logo on your cup of coffee, and you don't think that this is gonna make big, massive headlines. Honestly, man, it's that mentality, isn't it? It's a mentality.
Just a bad PR all round, and as you say, not thinking outside the box. That's the one that I was on about. Alex on it straight away. Pierce saying Danny Ward was our number 1, and then we went and signed Allison, didn't we? Like 2 weeks later or something. So yeah, I take a lot of what gets said about players and about setups with a pinch of salt. I've got no doubt in my mind that there'll be another left winger coming in the summer, and there'll be no chat about Rio's development being what's called halted at that point. He'll probably go on loan somewhere, to be honest.
That would be ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah.
After telling us that someone is not coming in because we don't want to block the pathway of Rio, and then we're going to say, yeah, that pathway that we sort of kept it open, it didn't work out, and now we're going to send him on loan.
You know what? I'd rather them just be really honest. I think that fans over the years, fans just take what the club's hierarchy say. But I think over the last 10 years at least, fans have become a lot more educated, a lot more understanding about the inner workings of a club, and not a lot more smarter when it comes to analysing and the data behind transfers and the way things work. I just think it'd actually be quite refreshing if they just come out and say, listen, we're in the middle of a massive transition. We bought 3 or 4 of the players that we want for the new team, but we've still got 4 or 5 players to fill. They're not going to say it because obviously that just means those 3 or 4 players who we're after have become more expensive because we're telling the world that we want those players in those positions. So they are never going to say anything. They're always going to say they're happy with the squad, but every club says that they're happy with the squad and they're not going to talk about other players, and then all of a sudden they sign them. So it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. We should take it all with a pinch of salt.
Ben, I want to ask you about some quotations from Szoboszlai. I think he gave an interview to Sky Sports. I want to read a little segment out of it, and I just want you to think, bearing in mind, probably this is the 3rd player now. Obviously, Salah was Salah in his own lavish way, came out, as we know. Then there was sort of bits from McAllister and now bits from Szoboszlai. He says, it's not my job to say, as I think he got asked about how to fix Liverpool. And then he goes on to say, we have so many players in the club to find solutions, and they will also find solutions. I'm pretty sure in every player here, I think there are a couple of things they are thinking, but everybody is going to keep for himself. And at the end of the day, we are going to speak with each other, speak as a group, and then we grow as a group, because we are Liverpool. Right now, we are the champions of England. Would it be far-fetched to say, Asim, you're reading too much between the lines? If I'm saying, look, he's also not happy. He wants to say something, but he can't. He's remaining professional. He wants to keep it in-house, behind the scenes. Or, like I said, do you think that's just pushing it?
I think people will read what they want to read. Like, everyone knows how I feel about Slot. I feel like he deserves that rest of the season. But people who want him out, or people who aren't happy with the situation, people who don't want to give him that chance, they're going to read things and say, oh, he's not happy. He's not happy. tell you what, if we go and win tomorrow night, which is possible, by the way, we are playing 11v11. People are just assuming we're going to get absolutely tonked. And I sincerely hope we do win. But it was like, it'd be like, there'll be no like, oh my word, they're all unhappy now. They're all gutted. They're all fuming. It's like, it's people just want to read what they want to read. You know, you can come out and you can name 100 interviews that have happened over the years when players will talk when things are going good, players will talk when things are going bad, players will talk when they're not in the team and the team's doing well, players will talk in whatever situation it is. I don't know. We want our players to talk more, and when they do come out and say what they feel or say what what they're thinking, like, he's probably right. There's a lot of players in that dressing room. Maybe there is quite a few of them, and I've got different opinions on how we should do stuff, because guess what? We've got different type of players. We've got players from one regime and we've got players from a new regime. So they don't all fit perfectly well together. And I think the reality is one or two or three or maybe four of them players will be going in the summer, and more players will be coming in. And, it is a transition. And everyone's got their own agendas, haven't they? There'll be some players who really enjoy playing under slots, I'm sure, and there'll be some players who'll be like, "This is not for me. I'm not happy here," and they're looking forward to potentially the next manager coming in. So, I just think players talk, full stop. And you can read into it whatever you want.
He also said something about it, but I particularly didn't like it though, Ben. He said something. He got asked about the defense. And are you happy? Are you happy the fact that you practically got two centre backs fit? I know you've been talking about, Endor centre back and Gravenberg as centre back, but realistically speaking, it hasn't happened. So are you happy with the fact? And then he went on to say, look, I'm happy. I'm not obviously paraphrasing here. He said something along the lines that I'm happy with the squad. These players can play in those positions. And also, he said, "Look, people forget the fact that we bought Leone in the summer, and he just got unfortunate injury." But there's me thinking, and I probably think I speak for a lot of the fan base, thinking, "Look, fourth and fifth are not guaranteed. I know for some mad reason, miraculously speaking, we're in that fourth position as of tonight, but there's no guarantees. 2-3 bad results in this table, suddenly you find yourself in 10th, 11th again. That's how close it is." So surely we have to act. How can we go through this this league with two centre backs? We're depleted 100%. As it is now. So for me, look, people will say, "Look, what do you want him to say?" Like, do you want him to say, "Yeah, we're absolutely desperate," which I can understand, and this is why I remain, sort of like not tight-lipped. I always say, "Look, I'm giving them a chance to act in January. If they don't, then I'll be a lot more angry." But I just hope he's just playing the camera, keeping low expectations because they are eyeing up one or two options. Because if they aren't, Ben, I'm telling you now, in this league, as really the physicality that we're showing as players, not just the centre backs, as a team, honestly, it is scary. And like I said earlier, if we get one or two more injuries, Ben, I really, really, and she's been going on about it for, to be fair, for a couple of weeks, saying, wait till we play the better opposition. But that's what brings me on to my next question about the style of player. He got even asked about how boring it is and this and that. He goes, I want to use a few other, words. Obviously, a manager is not going to use the word boring. But in a funny way, Ben, this style of play suits us against the big opposition. We simply can't play toe-to-toe football against Arsenal. For me, they're another beast. Physically, they've got better, depth than us, and they're just a better team. Let's be honest. We might have some players that can go into their team. Right now, they are a well-oiled, coached machine, honestly. And recently, even the game against Bayern Munich, I thought they really showed their physical levels. Aston Villa, second half, they showed their physical levels. They just outrun and just out-muscle teams, but with quality as well. And they've got real depth this season, as we know. But there is no prizes for guessing how Liverpool are going to play. But I've been talking about it, Ben. The problem Liverpool have playing this way is you need to have an outball. And we just don't have an outball. So be prepared to suffer tomorrow, bro. Be prepared to really, really suffer.
I don't expect anything different. As you say, they're the well-coached team. They're the ones who have spent, all the money. People forget they spent the same amount of money as us in the summer. We spent more, actually, money, but their net spend was the same as us because they didn't sell anybody. And we said, oh, we spent so much money. Also spent the same, but then they spent that last summer and the summer before and the summer before, and they've had the same manager in charge for 5 years to oil this machine, as we say. And that's why I think we can't really compare the two, because I remember watching Arteta's Arsenal get absolutely smashed all over the place by teams left, right, and centre, and people were calling for them to be sacked, and they didn't. They kept him, and this is where we are now. Now, I'm not saying that that's what Liverpool should do, because that's what Arsenal did. I fully accept that there may well be a higher quality manager out there, but I just think in this moment in time, for this situation, I just think it's a bigger gamble to get rid of him now, because there's no guarantee that anyone who you bring in is going to do anything significantly different. If we've literally only got 2 centre backs, like as you say, you could get Pep Guardiola, who's the best manager in the world, and if he's only got 2 centre backs and one of them gets injured, what's he going to do? His answer to City at the moment, getting 2 injuries, is go and get Mark Way. So it's like, why does he need Mark Way? Isn't he the best manager in the world? Just coach the players you've got to be better, or to improve, or to be to deal with it. It's like, even the best managers in the world, to be the best, you need the best players, or you need quality players, and that's the reality for him. And so he is dealing with what's called. He is dealing with what he's got to deal with, and we'll see how he gets on over the next few weeks.
And you know what, Ben? He mentioned PSG again today.
Oh, did he? I didn't actually see the press conference, to be honest, so I'm just listening to what you said.
A shout out to our unks, big, massive Liverpool fan. A big up to his family, especially his grandchildren. Always travel up to him with him at Anfield. And unks can't make his mind up. He's slot in, slot out, then never give up. He gets out that never get. What was it? The never give up Salah shirt against Barcelona. And at the moment, he's on never give up again. Tomorrow he'll be slagging the slot off, but nice to see him in the chat. Big up to our unks from Luton, and hopefully we see you soon, inshallah. Ben, I get pissed off when the manager keeps on mentioning PSG, because if you were truly obsessed with this team, then you wouldn't have stripped the art out of Liverpool from last season. What you were good about Liverpool last season, it sort of it had a good comparison towards that PSG. On what side? What I mean about that is in terms of how they build up, how they have their third left back staying, even though Robertson wasn't a Mendes, but the principle was there. They had proper progressive players. They had Vitinha. No, we don't have a Vitinha but Gravenberch did bits there. He was more disciplined, and he didn't give him the extra freedom like he was giving him early part of the season. Then you've got the press, the Kvaratskhelia, the Dembeles. I'm not saying we need, I want Liverpool to go and get those players, but the principle was there. The intensity was there from the front. Salah, obviously, the trade-off was there with last season, but Liverpool had those players. But if you're proper obsessed with the team, then go and get those profiler players that you had. Well, you bought a Kirkez. In all honesty, I hope the guy works out. And look, I probably say I don't want to speak for you, but you've not been his biggest fan, if I can say that. But go get a third centre back then, and sort of go and play like PSG. Go have the intensity from the front. Go press like them. Go have the transition counter-attacking threat. Go have a player like Vitinha who can sit and manipulate the ball and get their defenders out of trouble and beat tight spaces. Where is that? I don't recognize this Liverpool team. So if you could talk about Liverpool, and he keeps talking about that game, in all honesty, the pass of PSG battered us in the first half. Battered us. But in all fairness, I like the way Liverpool played. And for me, a lot of people said PSG were better side. I think that PSG's side probably deserved, to go through overall. But Anfield, for 90 minutes, I think Liverpool were the better team. And if Trent didn't go off, I think it was an extra time. I think Liverpool I think Liverpool would have won that game. Until Trent went off, I think Liverpool were the better side. They were missing a few chances as well. The moment he went off, Liverpool were just they didn't create anything, and PSG were probably the better side finishing off, and then they won the penalty shootout. But yeah, there was nothing in between the sides in my humble opinion at Anfield. But that first half, we couldn't fucking get near them, and the only reason why we controlled them is then we just forgot playing football with them. We just thought, forget this. We pulled Diaz in literally left back positions, and we smothered them. We controlled them better, but it still took about 10 million saves from Alisson on the night. So look, I'm not saying Liverpool need to start playing that football overnight again. But if you were so obsessed, and if you saw, and he was clearly impressed with that brand of football that night, because he keeps on talking about it 6 months after. I feel like you haven't made a good job of it, of trying to get Liverpool to replicate that style.
Yeah. No, and the reality is the players that he has bought. I don't know where Isak fits into any style of PSG. Like, you could argue that if he's saying, right, well, he still wants 3-4 pieces of the jigsaw. Well, we're assuming that Isak is one of the key members of the jigsaw. So how does he visualize him? Because Dembele's not really a 9, is he? As in the natural form of a centre forward, whereas Isak very much is. So that doesn't really match up necessarily with the same style. You could say, in theory, that Wirtz is a similar sort of player to a Kvaratskhelia or even, dare I say, a Vitinha. That tricky sort of player who can manipulate the ball, who can create stuff, but Dembele doesn't really match to Isak. So I don't know whether or not he wants to do it player for player, but he does keep mentioning them. I don't really understand why, to be honest. I don't understand this fixation with PSG. They were a good side, and they're a very good side, but he should back himself and think, well, we were the only team to take him to penalties, and as you say, I think we would have won if Trent had been there. We had 3 unbelievably difficult games as well, building up to that. Those 3 horrible away games, and obviously PSG were able to. I think they rest the whole of the team in the league game before, because they're in a Farmers League where they can do that, and they had the League One even before we had the League One, so they had that advantage of having all the energy, and obviously we ended up getting the results, but it was obviously massively in PSG's favour. And I think we were obviously much closer to them in the second leg. But even in the second leg, I thought they matched us in the second half. We were good in the first half, but they matched us in the second half. But yeah, I just think he's lost his way, Slot, in his own mind this season. Again, people don't want to hear it, but there were so many good things about last season, so many good things that he did. We didn't dazzle, we didn't massively entertain, but again, this is the manager that we've got. It might be a manager that gets more results over time, but just doesn't entertain as much as Klopp. And it depends on what you want. You want somebody who's gonna go gung ho and risk and reward and stuff, and that's what Klopp did in his early years. We had unbelievable games, but it was a little bit of a basketball at times. And it was only when we become a lot more defensively minded that we were closer to winning the big titles. And the fact that we were so unbelievably good going forward is because we had our greatest ever from 3. We haven't got that now. We're not even close to that now. We've got Gakpo up front tomorrow night. We haven't got Salah, Mane and Firmino. We've got Gakpo up front on his own tomorrow night. That is it. So it's like he's dealing with what he's got at the moment, and it's not ideal and it's not nice, but he's dealing with what he's got. So we need, we either make the decision that you want a different sort of manager that's going to get more out of the current squad, or you accept that this manager, in order to succeed, you need to give him all of the tools to be able to do the job and buy him the rest of the team in the next 2 windows. And what will be will be.
Okay, let's go to a few other super chats. Sammy Soso 977. Thank you so much for sending this through. It's funny, he has a Klopp picture. We had a Luis Enrique thumbnail yesterday, Ben, about the whole show between me, Teen, and Ben. It was like, it turned out to be like reminiscent about Jurgen Klopp days. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I caught a bit of it. Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Yeah, and I think that's part of all of this problem, is that I think a lot of the fan base, it was sort of put on hold last year because we won the league. But I think this season, especially with what happened in the summer, I think we have got a bit of Jurgen Klopp mourning in a way, in the fact that we probably need to accept, and I think City will have this when Pep goes, there is no other Jurgen Klopp out there. We're not going to get another Jurgen Klopp because there isn't one, because he's unique. And we need to accept that there might well be a better coach out there or a better personality out there, but he was the full package. He was absolutely Everton. And, you know, we what if we go and get an Enrique, for example, and he has us tactically set up brilliantly and playing really well, but then he's not fist pumping the crowd or he's not engaging with the crowd. Are we gonna? We don't want it yet. We don't want that either. It's like we're just not going to get all of the ingredients that we got from Klopp. We're going to probably have to settle on what we really want and what we're happy for. I don't know. Even Alonso, he doesn't come across as like a real big sort of character presence on the touchline. I don't think he's going to be running around giving fists to the cop. But at the end of the day, if he gets the results and he starts he plays entertaining football, and that's all that we're worried about. I just think that we need to be realistic and think that Klopp is, he was our greatest ever manager in the Premier League and one of our greatest ever managers. But we have to move on from him.
Okay, let's go to. Sammy says, Liverpool squad depth issues stem from the quality of our homegrown players compared to Arsenal's. It's clear why this gap separates the two teams right now. Ben, they've got Eze, they've got who else is there? Kepa as a keeper, Declan Rice, of course, Ben White. Miles Lewis Skelly.
Yeah, I think if you did a combined 11 between the two teams when everybody is fit,
shall we do one quickly?
If you want to, yeah. If you want to, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll go Alisson straight away. Raya is a brilliant keeper, but Alisson is Alisson. We're playing okay. We're playing 4-3-3, yeah, or 4-2-3-1, whatever. 4-3-3. Yeah,
4-3-3. Yeah. So Timber at right back. I'll take that one then.
Timber. This is difficult right now because
very difficult.
Saliba and Gabriel.
I think as a partnership, Saliba and Gabriel are excellent together. I think, is it fair, just to try and help you out, that the best of the four is Virgil, and then it's possibly the two Arsenal guys, and then Canate fourth. So therefore, you
right now I'd agree with that.
Virgil and either Gabriel or Saliba, either or.
Yeah, I would go Virg and Gabriel.
Yeah. Okay. Calafiori at left back.
Yeah. Calafiori.
So what's that now? So we're at 3-2 to Arsenal, and that's the defense.
Yeah, 3-2.
And that's their best attribute, I would say.
Yeah. So who are we going for? Are we playing a 4-3-3? Yeah, or let's go. Yeah. Okay.
Now, this is really difficult for me.
Rice has to be in the team for me.
Yes, yeah, I think Rice has to be in the team. But then the people will say Zubimendi is better than Gravenberch, probably even better than McAllister. But that's on recency bias from my perspective. We're talking about them all being at their absolute potential best.
Yeah,
that's the only way you can do it, because otherwise you might as well just make a decision. You could say,
right now, does Zubimendi get in the team ahead of Gravenberch right now?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Are we doing it based on their best
right now?
Right now. Okay. Well, it's them. Right now. It's. You'd say it's Gabriel and Saliba, then, wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, fair. Okay, shall I take Virg out then?
No, I'm not really. But I mean, you could. You could. It's difficult. I would still have Virgil at this current time. I think he would slot into Arsenal's team and be, just be fine, be absolutely fine. Personally, midfield-wise,
I'm putting Zubimendi right now.
Yeah, Zubimendi and Rice, and I think you could probably say Szoboszlai would be the three.
Yeah, fair enough. Because all the guys just come back recently, hasn't he, as well? Eze not played enough for me.
No.
And then
front three is really interesting. because
right now,
you
the thing is, Saka's not been
done
in
nothing.
terms of,
Done nothing.
in terms
I
of
think
output.
Salah's on the same goals as him, and he's had a crap season apparently, which
Yeah,
says
you
it
know
all,
what?
doesn't it?
I'm
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 still having
putting
Salah,
Salah. I'm putting Salah in there.
and I'm putting
Ekitike up
Ekitike
top.
in
Ekitike up
instead of
top. Anyone would
Gyökeres.
go. Anyone would go ahead of that fridge that they bought. Um,
And then
left wing.
you probably have to say Trossard ahead of Gakpo, who's our option at left on the left.
Would Wirtz get in from the left?
That's a good shout. Didn't even think about Wirtz. Yeah, I'd have Wirtz over Trossard. Yeah,
Eze on the left?
absolutely. No, no. I think he's a whatever one-trick pony. Eze, I've never been a massive fan of Eze. I think he's good, but he's good in sporadic moments. But I don't think he's consistent enough. And what is it? He what's it called? He hasn't played for a month. I think he's really sort of like, to me, Eze looks like he's a big fish in a small pond, and then you put him in a big squad and a big setup with a structured setup. I think he's too much of a free spirit. I think he is talented and he's got ability, but I think in a serious team with a serious structure, I think he struggles. So yeah, I'd go Wirtz, definitely. So what's that? Our front three, their midfield three, and flick of a coin at the back four. So I think they have one more player ahead of us, don't they? On those numbers.
Yeah, but that's with Virgin,
Alisson in,
Alisson in.
and our front three.
Yeah. I've always been a Martinelli fan.
It's close.
You know
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I like him. But again, he's fell off a cliff a bit the last 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
12, 18 months.
He reminds me of, the way Arsenal fans talk about him. They really love his tenacity, his energy, and his intensity and all that sort of stuff. But it reminds me of the Luis Diaz conversation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I absolutely agree. But the bigger question with this is the depth. Now, if you do the second 11s now, you go through the second 11s.
Let's not even go there.
No, but you go there and you think to yourself, all of a sudden, flipping heck, the depth there for Arsenal is significant, isn't it? And that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. But I say again, they've had 4 years to build this squad. You spent 200 odd million last season. They bought Rice last season, didn't they? They bought, and then they've let players go along the way as well. So they've had really good players. Like they had Zinchenko and Jesus in the first wave, who did okay for them, but then they let them go. Then they had the likes of Partey in the second wave, and then they've gone. It's like, so they've kept on buying and selling, but they don't really make any serious money on players. They just let them go. So whereas we've sold a lot of players in the summer for serious money, or we've let key players go who we didn't necessarily want to let go, and that adding to a team is a lot different, in my opinion, to replacing players in a team, because you've got no continuity when you replace. When you add, you've got continuity already there, you've got stability already there, and then you add extra players. Whereas key elements of our team have been relinquished, and they've been replaced with players who don't know the team, and they've been the ones who are being expected to do the business. And the two obvious ones being Isak and Wirtz. In that Wirtz has obviously struggled to adjust to the league, and Isak's not been fit. I think if you'd have given Wirtz to Pep Guardiola this summer, he would have been exactly the same. Exactly the same. I don't think that Wirtz would have been a million times better. He still would have had the physicality of the Premier League. He still would have had the adjustment to the speed of the league and the intensity of the league, where you're playing 3 games a week. Like, their alternative to Wirtz was Cherky, and he started to play really well now. But he had the luxury of, he didn't play like 10 games or something, just left him on the bench. Whereas Wirtz has been playing and playing and playing. He's only missed the odd 1 or 2 games. So we just don't have the luxury to just say, you know what, mate, McAllister, you're not playing very well. We'll just leave you out and just not play you. He's played him through these situations. Again, I said it a million times, Foden had a year off last year. He didn't have to play him through it. He just left him on the bench because they've got options.
But have you been surprised at the fact that the impact Shirky's had on the league?
I think he's done that.
He took about 5-10 games to sort of get used to the physicality, get himself up to the pace of the league as well. But you have to say, like, even I saw him tonight. Like, City were rubbish, Ben. I thought, but
Yeah,
honestly, when he came on, his creativity is off the charts, man. Why is
yeah.
Gene
No,
ring?
he's done well. He's done really well.
Why is Gene ringing me? He never rings me off the show.
Is he all right?
Okay, Redknapp. Everyone's going saying Redknapp, Redknapp, Jamie Redknapp. I've got
Who
it,
you
Jamie.
waded in, or
Something
what's
about
happened?
speaking on live on
Jamie
Sky
Redknapp.
Sports.
Oh, go on.
Everyone thinks it's a foregone conclusion. He's talking about Semenyo. I'm not so sure. I've heard there might be a little bit of twist still. Wow. I think Liverpool could be in the equation. Why they haven't come in as strongly, I'm surprised, because you look at the position with Mo Salah, how long he's going to be at the club for, we don't know. But if you've got a player of that quality, he's a match winner, turns up in the big moments, why wouldn't you be in for him? So I'm not saying it's a Sky Sports breaking news moment, but all I'm saying is I've heard tonight it might not be the foregone conclusion everyone's talking about, and that he's going to be having a medical at City. There might be a little twist. I hope so.
And Redknapp has got really good links with Bournemouth, hasn't he?
Has he?
Well, he lives there.
Oh, does he? I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Why the hell
yeah,
does he live in Bournemouth?
yeah. All his family are there, live in there. That's where
Wow.
Redknapp. That's where Harry lives. You know, they've got what's the designer label coats? Sandbanks.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. That island, Sandbanks, is just off the coast of where Bournemouth is, and that's where their family home is. So he will definitely have a little eyes to the ears to the ground, should we say? So, but to me though, like, didn't Fabrizio do a here we go?
Yes, he did. He did.
So
Did they say that the medical is going to be on Wednesday or Thursday?
yeah. So when was the last time Fabrizio did the here we go and it never happened? That would be one of the first in history if Redknapp
No, no,
gets
no.
the
He's done a few. He's
exclusive
done a few.
before.
He's done a few,
Has he?
Ben. Yeah, he's done a few. He's done a few.
Oh no, you're
No,
getting me
no,
excited
no.
now, Asim.
Apparently, the medical is tomorrow. His dad's well in at Bournemouth, according to thingy.
What playing devil's advocate and given your sort of understanding of how transfers work and your sort of backwards and forwards, how would Liverpool come in at the 11th hour if that's got any truth to it?
As in, like, what would make Liverpool get him? Wages,
Yeah. Do you reckon?
wages, structure of the deal.
Really? So we've just suddenly said we'll offer more off from, but then isn't it Semenyo who said he wants City?
Yeah, I think he'll end up at City.
Yeah.
Dean says the clause expires on Friday night. Are Liverpool waiting to pounce just before Friday? Could have a Friday late night show, man.
Nothing's changed though, hasn't it, between Friday and now? You mean that they're willing to? Okay, when the clause is up, what is it? 65, isn't it, for the first 10 days that the clause is, and then after that, it's every man's. So are they saying, right? Okay, 65 million, we'll jib that. We'll offer you now 40 million, but we'll pay it all up front, or something stupid like that.
This is a good question from Vansh. Asim, choose one: Semenyo today or Barcola in the summer. This is hard, man. This is hard because we're desperate. We're desperate right now.
But I think you're making that decision because you don't know that Barcola is a definite. If you knew Barcola was a definite,
what if it?
Well, you'd wait for
hypothetically
Barcola, wouldn't you?
speaking,
You'd wait for Barcola.
But I feel like Liverpool need something now as well, Ben. But
It's a tough one.
But if I had to choose,
we've been here before.
If I had to choose and gamble, I'd go Barcola in the summer. If I had to choose, would you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because I'm looking at the Premier League at the moment, and I just think any type of form, the form that we're on at the moment, unbeaten in 9, completely and utterly non-attractive football, but grinds and results, literally grinding results, that will probably be trajectory enough to get top 5 the way things are going at the moment, because nobody can string 3 wins together. I think it is a reflection of the league as well, how strong the league is this season. Like, people say, oh, it's a shit league, like, because Brentford are 5th, but it's not, because, you know, anyone can beat anybody. Literally anyone can beat anybody. There's no easy games at all. Like, I think we're talking about Liverpool won 5 of the last 15. Chelsea have won 2 in 10. I think it is. And everyone just assumes they're going to be like up there for top 5. It's mad how strong this league is. Really mad. But then the caveat to that is, well, okay, go and get 2 players and you're pretty much guaranteed to get top 4.
Yeah, everyone's telling me check out. Is it Sectors? Yeah, Sectors quotes.
Yeah, he's got
very
some
similar.
embargo quotes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right, okay.
very similar to what Klopp is. He's talking about the style. I don't want to discuss it again. We've discussed it. I had a quick little gander at what he's been talking about. Yeah, it's all about the style and the margins in football, set pieces, and talking about Arsenal's strengths and how Liverpool have been done by the set pieces and how games change and all that. All that is true. But the thing is, the annoying thing is Liverpool, as an elite club and an elite team, and as a coaching staff, Slot should have seen where the league is going. And again, I feel like, we just wanted to play the football in the opponent's half and forget about the dueling. You need, even to sustain attacks, you need certain players, and Liverpool still don't have that. Liverpool don't have that. And you have to rule out those set pieces against us. You have to make sure. And look, at the end of the day, even though I felt sorry for him because he didn't come in for that particular job in the set pieces, Mr. What was his Briggs? But he got the sack.
Yeah.
He got the sack, didn't he?
Yeah.
But
he was shoehorned into the role apparently because we didn't have a specialist
exactly
coach. And maybe that was an arrogance from the hierarchy that just made us think, oh, well, we're Liverpool, we're going to just outclass teams, we're not going to need to worry about set pieces because it's beyond us. But or maybe they thought, it'll just be a trend and it'll revert back to type over time. Like, I'm amazed that our set piece balance is just crazy, like -4 or something. It is. It's like, even if it was just par, then that would be 4 or 5 points better off probably. So it is a big thing.
And look at this again against PSG. He says, "I did not change our style, but teams have changed their style against us." Yeah, but what do you expect? You're the champions. Every single team up and down the country and in Europe is going to treat Liverpool as their cup final. They are.
It's almost, it comes across as rabbit in the headlights a bit, doesn't it?
And they didn't change this season. Like he says, they changed last season. And he says, that is how I would love to have every game, single game. But you need to have 2 teams to have an open game of football and let not all these long balls and low blocks that don't make a game of football nice. Like, what are you fucking on about? Like, what do you expect? Wolves and Crystal Palace and Sunderland to come to Anfield or even at their ground just to say, here, Liverpool, you can have the ball and we'll have 5 strikers up front. It's not going to happen. You've just bought Ekatike, Isang Wirtz, and Frimpong and Kirkes. At the end of the day, this is the problem. Liverpool knew that they're going to be facing a low block, and they've got too many attackers, and they've just forgot about all of the out of the ball stuff. All of the out of the ball stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting, this quote as well. This one from Lewis Steele. Margins in football, this is Slot. Margins in football are really small. I'm not saying we deserve to be right up there with Arsenal, not at all. But I can safely and fairly say we deserved more. In a normal world, we would have 6, 8, 9 points more. I'm talking about the late goals that we've conceded. I don't think the gap between them and us is 14 points, but they deserve to be above us because they definitely have had a better season than us. Of course, one of the things that leads to such a big margin is regarding, obviously, set pieces. Do you think we have been unlucky at all?
I've not looked into the expected set piece conceded, the XG on the. I think the manager has been talking about it. I think we've conceded 13, haven't we? And the reason why he's been saying we've been a bit unlucky is because I think apparently we were supposed to be we're supposed to be conceding 8. I
And we
think,
conceded 13.
yeah, something like that. But I don't buy it. You know, if it happened over a month, Ben, I'd say, look,
Yeah.
one went off his ass, one went off his shin. You can be unlucky. For me, and you know what now, Ben, is going the other way, and it all 100%. The Reed goal, the 2-all goal at Fulham was an unbelievable strike. We're talking about XG. It was probably 0.00001. It was a 1 in a million strike. But Liverpool's mentality was wrong. Why? Because it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy where, you know, the set pieces have become so much fixated in the managers and the team's mind that you look at that goal, they were set up for a long throw. They were set up for a corner and that's why they were so deep. So it's gone the other way. And that, and you know, it's sort of low as well. Yeah, maybe a bit unlucky on that given day against Fulham.
Yeah.
But the problem is you're not preparing for the right thing.
And, no, you're not. No.
That's the problem. That is the problem.
Yeah.
You know, you prepare the right way and you back yourself with the right players, the right profiles, and then over a season, you're rewarded with it. And that's the problem with Liverpool now, where they're so fixated with the long throws and the set pieces. But now, in a way, they don't have the right plan and they don't have the right players. Once it becomes a mental thing, in and out of possession, then, you know, you're just going down a really dark alley, aren't you? Let's go to the team tomorrow, Ben. Let's quickly just go through this super chat.
That's easy to pick, isn't it?
He has blamed the opposition for not playing the PSV. I'm sorry, but he's lost his mind. Even if he didn't see the league was going for, 100%. We've just discussed this. Thank you so much, SJ, for your second super chat of the night. Sammy Soso, and you know what? It's good, just not the super chats. It's good to see some real. I even been going into Gene's daytime shows. It's good to see some new names in the chat as well. So keep on liking, because the more you like, the more the channel gets out there to new users as well. So thank you so much for sending these through. He says Saka, Rice, Raya, Rice, Eze, Martinelli, Noni Madueke, William Saliba, Ben White, not to mention youngsters Lewis and Manieri, compared to our homegrown players. 100%. Look at that. That is Martinelli homegrown. Wow. That is, you know what? Even though, as much as, you know, I'm not where I don't call Arsenal Stoke FC, for example, Ben. Yes, they're not as expansive as PSG or the great Barcelona side. Nobody is, even compared to City and Liverpool in the Premier League. But for me, I just think if they really want to play football against footballing sides, they can play football. But if they want to outrun you, they'll outrun you. If they outpass you, they'll outpass you. If they want to win against you, and this is, look, Slot said it today. He said, look, in a funny way, their strengths is like they have crazy strengths. They're a complete, you know, machine. Now, even when they try to outpass a team, they're not as expansive and they don't create the chances like City and Liverpool on their day do. But they create still, for me, they still create enough. They still create enough. And they've got so many ways of beating a team. But the only thing is they haven't won the league. And that's probably mine and yours and everyone else's who doesn't support Arsenal. Their hope that, you know what, we were just talking about the mentality of Liverpool on the set pieces. They've got to break that barrier of getting over the line. Line. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and they've added a lot more strength and depth this season as well, hasn't he? You know, because they were good last season, but we managed to fend them off last season. Would you say they're good enough to win the Champions League?
Yeah. I would.
Really?
The only thing I would say is in the Champions League, when I see them come up against the real top sides, I just worry, you know, if in Arsenal's perspective, they've got the real counter-attacking threat. And when I saw them against Bayern Munich last season, it was evident that they can keep the ball against them. They can hurt them in, you know, they can press them high, and they can, you know, smother them in midfield as well with the intensity of the likes of Odegaard and Rice as well. And obviously they've got, you know, other players as well across the back line. They've got the physicality, but have they got that counter-attacking where you can just sit back and pounce? And Bayern Munich had that through who was playing the number 10? What's his name? The kid.
Musiala. Musiala,
and you know, now they've got Lise and all these guys. I didn't watch the first half. Apparently, Bayern Munich were really good in this year when they played Arsenal. I watched the second half. I thought Arsenal were the much better side. But that's one thing. But the problem, the thing that's going for them is they just don't concede goals. Ben, they just don't concede goals.
I personally would say that they're probably favourites for the Champions League now. Yeah, because if you look at the other opposition, Real Madrid don't look anywhere near where they should be. There's turmoil there. Bayern Munich, obviously, they looked a great side, but Bayern Munich, they beat them and looked really comfortable against them. The other real top side, obviously, is in the Champions League is Manchester City, but I feel like over two legs they could probably feel like they could see them off as well. So I think this, if you're looking at it, if they do go on to win the league and maybe win it more comfortably than anyone anticipates, like if they win tomorrow night, obviously it's 9 points, I think, isn't it, or 7 points? That's starting to become quite a significant gap. If they win it by, say, March, April, then all of a sudden they can focus on the Champions League. And I'd say that if they didn't get to the final this year, after getting to the semi-final last year, I'd say that would be a bit of a disappointment.
Like and subscribe, people. There's still 430 of you in here. Let's go for the predicted lineup then, Ben.
We've got 10 players, haven't we?
This should be easy. So let's go. Ali in net.
I think that's safe to say.
Are we doing this again, like how we think Slot's going to go with it?
Yeah. Always the way, isn't it? Not what we want. Because we'd have Rio and Chiesa on the wings, wouldn't we?
Okay.
I wouldn't really. I'm only kidding. Ali in goal, and then right back. That's probably the biggest one to choose from, really, isn't it? I feel like he will go with Bradley.
I agree. I think with the Arsenal's physicality, I think he'll go Bradley.
Yeah.
Centre backs. Does that pick itself?
Two of our two. If it's not, we've got problems.
Left back.
I think he will. I think he might. No, I think he'll go Kirkes. Because remember, Saka done Robbo last year, didn't he? Early doors. I'll be very surprised if it's not Kirkes.
You'd be surprised if it's not Kirkes. Okay.
You saying there's a shout for Robbo?
There's a shout for Robbo.
Is that a little bomber there, Asim?
No bombers. There is a shout for Robbo.
Why?
What? If you want a bomber,
Gueye at left back. Gueye at left back.
No, if you want a bomber, I think Joe Gomez will play tomorrow.
Ooh, that's a good shout. At left back.
I don't know.
Wow, 3 at the back.
No, not necessarily. Could be a right back. Could be a centre back.
Yeah, he did come off the bench, didn't he? So all of a sudden he's fit and available again. But that would be a shout. But I think most likely is Kirkes, we say.
Yeah. It scares me, Robbo v Saka. It scares me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know what Saka is very, very clever at? He entices you so well. He entices you and spins you so well. And I think, to be fair to Kirkes, I thought, Saka did get, I think it was Madueke on the day, wasn't it, at Anfield? And he did. Yeah. That's the thing what I was talking about. He comes against enticed and he leaves a bit of space. But the good thing about Kirkes is he does have recovery pace. And to be fair to him, he got the blocks in and he got the recoveries in on that day. But Robbo obviously is smarter, more mature. He doesn't go. But if there is space, any space out wide, then I think, there's a shout, but I think he'll go with Kirkes.
You know what's just come to my mind now? I think Kirkes is very similar to Canate in that, from a mental perspective.
Do you know
from a
That's my
mental
nephew, by the
perspective.
way. You know what?
Oh, is it?
Lambu's away on Umrah, isn't he? He's away on pilgrimage in Mecca and Medina, Ben. So we've got the understudy.
Oh, is he
He's an Arsenal fan.
is he the B-Tech behind the cameraman? Is he?
B-Tech cameraman. B-Tech him. So he's
Brilliant.
B-Tech Lambu tomorrow. So if he comes out if Arsenal score, or should I say when Arsenal score, it could be him and Gene. It could be it could be nice tomorrow.
When we go live and it looks like that on the camera, like you'll be getting him to do some moving and shaking. Oh dear me! But I was just going to say about Canate. Kirkes reminds me of Canate and the fact that, you know, on those odd occasions when he goes a bit brain dead and he gets dragged into a physical battle that he doesn't need to because the player's trying to like outsmart him and just pulling him all over the pitch. That to me is like what Kirkes is a little bit. You know, that thing where you see a cat chasing after a ball of string. And you just think to yourself, that could be Kirkes and Saka tomorrow night. But yeah, I think from a pace perspective, it will be Kirkes. But would you rather have Gomez at left back if that was an option?
It depends who's that left wing.
For Arsenal or us?
Yeah, Arsenal for us.
Oh, for us.
Yeah. If it's Wirtz, I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. We don't have many options, do we? So yeah.
Okay. Double pivot.
Double pivot will be what do you call it?
That's what he'll do? He won't revert back. Think he might spring a surprise?
No,
go with the three.
No. I think no. To be honest with you, I think it'll be a McAllister and Gravenberg, and then Szoboszlai from the number 10.
Okay. No Jones.
I think Jones is probably going to play. Actually, no. Jones will probably be in the 10. Sobo from the right. Gakpo top and Wirtz on the left.
Same team then, pretty much. No Frimpong, obviously, on the right.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of choice, Ben.
No, I think I've got a sneaky feeling he might go Frimpong on the right in front of Bradley. Okay. And then I think McAllister might be on the bench. And then he goes with Jones and Gravenberg. And he goes Szoboszlai in the 10 behind Gakpo and Wirtz off the left.
Fair.
But that's just a theory. He's probably going to play McAllister, but that's what I think he might do. But we'll see.
I think he's going to try to control the game as much as possible, and I think our best bet is to try to keep the ball.
Yeah.
To try to keep the ball. And I think
with
McAllister, Gravenberg, Jones, Sobo, and Wirtz being on the pitch, we'll have to create the perfect attack. We don't want to have anything in behind. But I think he will try to play like how he played against Inter Milan.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
To contain them.
Yeah. And don't concede any stupid free kicks.
Yeah.
Prediction, Ben? Prediction?
2-1 Liverpool.
Wow. I'm not confident. I
can't bring myself to call a defeat.
I know I've already done it now, so I can do it again. I think we'll lose tomorrow. I think we lose 3-0.
Really? 3-0?
I was gonna say 2, but if they get a set piece early on, Ben, especially how weak this team is right now mentally, I'm just worried about them, man. Honestly, I'm worried about them.
Come from behind against Fulham.
I hope you're right. It's the same Fulham, though, is it, Ben?
Yeah, no. This is definitely not Fulham. No, definitely not. Yeah, we'll see. As I say, fingers crossed. we'll what's it called? I just hope that they try at least do themselves justice by giving it as best as they can.
Oh, look at this idiot! Look at this idiot. Thinking we lose is the same as wanting us to lose. This is why you're a clown, and you'll always be a clown. So stay a clown. Anyway, carry on.
On that though, would your opinion at all change if we won tomorrow? About the bigger picture,
it could look. It could turn our season like a proper springboard. Get 5, 6, 7 results. Get some confidence going. See some proper, attacking play in the next. It could spark a change from Slot and the players. But my worry is, Ben, is the depth of the squad. The depth of the squad right now is killing us. It's killing us, man. But look, it could also go the other way. If we lose 3-0 tomorrow, Ben,
well, everybody's gonna be off mad for it, aren't they? He's back. He's back again.
Salah FC will be out tomorrow night. Does Salah play tomorrow?
No, I think what he's suggesting is that we're just Salah FC as opposed to Liverpool FC because we haven't got Salah tomorrow night. I think that's what he's suggesting.
He's just been a clown. He's been a clown. Ah, okay. Shall we call it a wrap?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Good show. Fingers crossed that we can a miracle will happen tomorrow. We'll see. We shall see.
We shall see. We need a miracle. We need a miracle. Okay, people, thank you so much for I was just about to say liking and subscribing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you like on the way out. That's all we ask for. There's still 470 of you in the building. Mafi Mango Asim, what do you mean? He wants me to say sorry about what? He might be saying sorry himself. He might be saying Mafi Mangna. Is that the word? Anyway. Okay, let's get some quickly before we go. Get some predictions from the chat. What do you? Yeah, there is a watch along promo tomorrow. Asim, ask Avi why has he deleted the tweet? What tweet has he predicted the game tomorrow? Super chats, Lethan. Nice to see you, brother. In the chat and not in the super chats. He says, surely you got to go to a diamond from Frimpong and Kirkes and 2 10s. So what does he want? Frimpong and Kirkes, Virgin, whoever the other centre back is, and then he goes Gravenberg, Wirtz at the tip of it. The two who's going to play Sobo and Curtis Jones.
Jones.
And then Wirtz and Gakpo top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is Ekitike completely ruled out?
I personally think, and this is not information, I'll be surprised if Ekitike has travelled tonight.
All right, okay. I heard someone say before that Chiesa hasn't travelled. Is that right? Do we know that?
I don't know. And this, I repeat, this is not any information, but just the way the manager was talking, I'll be surprised if he's travelled tonight.
Yeah.
So
we go without them. What's Sheen saying there?
Alex, what did he say? I think he's asking about Avi. He probably had to go out someone, isn't it? You know him.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. They'll be going. They'll be going in the
the chirpy Arsenal fans in the chat asking for a 7-0 win. Selection, bloody hell, ever the optimist. He's saying we're losing. We don't have an attack and try to facilitate and put it on them, and they're better physically. Okay, and there's a little comment here from Ice Snake. He's saying Asim, Ekitike's hamstring made us go for Semenyo just to watch. Okay, wow. Let's see.
Interesting.
Let's see what happens.
But again, though, that's all well and good, but the idea that the briefing was Semenyo has chosen. You circled it, didn't you, on a tweet the other day? Semenyo's chosen City.
Yeah. Romano said it.
Doesn't matter how many pounds, shilling and pence that we throw at Bournemouth. If Semenyo's decided he wants to go to City, then that's the end of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, people, let's call it a night. Make sure you close the chat on the way out and you smash a like. Honestly, I cannot emphasize the importance of that. We're on a real push for 20k. We need to get there before the end of the window, the January window, and not the summer window. So please, with your help, make sure you keep on liking, subscribing. Just on the way out, Ben, how many likes are we on?
We are on 142. Come on, people.
Come on. 142. There's still 390 of you in the chat. Make sure on the way out you just smash a like and you subscribe to the channel on the way out. I'll catch you on the watch along tomorrow. If I finish from work a bit early, we will get in a team news show in. If not, we'll be live around 7:30. So make sure you tune in for that. And if it gets real messy, we might do an emergency show from the studio, from the car, and back home again. So we could be live about 3-4 times tomorrow. You never know. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one. Take care and goodbye. Bye for now.